Namaste. Welcome to Revision with Vrithi. Today we will see 12th lesson, Water. Water is an important natural resource, one of our basic needs. All living things, humans, animals and plants need it. When people started settling down, they looked for places close to water. Thus, the first village around the world were built near rivers. Find out which river or lake supplies water to your city or town. Where is water found? Water is found in three different forms. On high mountain tops and places where it is very cold, water is present in solid state as snow and ice. In rivers, lakes, ponds and oceans, it is present in its liquid form as water. Although we do not often see water in the form of gas, but when it is very hot, water from rivers, lakes, ponds and oceans evaporates in the form of gas called water vapor and forms clouds. Clouds are made up of tiny droplets of water that are formed on the cooling of water vapor. Look at the pictures given below. They tell you where all the water is stored on the surface of the earth. Glacier, ocean and river. Water droplets in clouds join and become large and fall on earth as rain. Water found on the surface of land is called surface water. It is found in streams, lakes and ponds and is very important for all living beings. The water from rain and snow that seeps into the earth is called underground water. You can dig in many places and find a fresh supply of drinkable water under the earth. Water can even be found in a desert, but it requires a special skill to find it there. A swamp is a large area of land that is very wet or covered with water. Water in swamps is shallower than in lakes, ponds and rivers. As a result, many tall grasses and trees grow in a swamp and rise to the surface. That is why swamps look like forests. Just like swamps, marshes are also bodies of shallow water. But unlike swamps, which are covered with tall tree and grass, marshes are low-lying area covered with water lilies, grass and reed. Marshes are home to many animals such as fish, frogs, turtles, birds and even hippopotamus. Water cycle. As you have learnt before, water can be found in three forms: solid, liquid and gas. In a water cycle, water goes through all of its three forms in different stages. When the sun shines, it heats up water present in lakes, oceans, rivers, and ponds and other water bodies and turns it into water vapor. The water vapor, being lighter than water, rises into the air. When water vapor is the air cools down, it slowly changes back into water and forms clouds. This is called condensation. When a lot of water condenses and clouds become heavy, then heavy, they let go of the water which comes down in the form of rain. Falling down of water is called precipitation. Storing water. Water is stored in our homes for various uses. We use different vessels to store water. Some of them are an overhead water tank, jug, water bottle, earthen pot, bucket. Measuring water. Take a glass, a jug, a bottle, and a bucket. Fill the jug using the glass. Note down how many glasses of water filled the jug. The jug contains dash glasses of water. 8. Now with the same glass fill the bottle. Note down how many glasses of water were required to fill the bottle. The bottle contains dash glasses of water. A standard jug or bottle contains 4 glasses of water as they are approximately on of 1 liter. Now use the jug or bottle to fill the bucket. Note down how many jugs or bottles were required to fill the bucket. A medium-sized bucket contains dash bottles of water. Dash jugs or bottles of water. Next, fresh water usage, wastage, conservation. You will be surprised to know that less than 1% of the total water on earth is fit for drinking. Drinkable water or fresh water is the water that is fit for drinking and for domestic use. Rivers, underground rivers, lakes and ponds contains fresh waters. They are commonly called freshwater bodies. Rainwater and melting snow is the mountains to give fresh water. Oceans, the biggest storehouse of the world's water, do not contain fresh water. Their water is salty and can't be used directly. Look at the picture given alongside. You can say that the first image is of a weak and dying crop, while the second one is that of a healthy crop. The reason why crops dry up and are spoiled is that they do not get enough water. Thus, we can say that water is important for plants to survive. Similarly, animals too need food and water to survive. Places where food and water is available, animals are healthy. On the other hand, places that face the scarcity of these two things, animals are weak. Thus, you can understand that plants and animals also need drinking water to stay alive. If animals drink dirty water from ponds, lakes, and rivers, they will fall sick and may even die. Can you imagine your life without water? At home, you use water for various purposes such as drinking, cleaning, cooking, and flushing. A farmer uses it for watering his field. A gardener uses it for watering flowers and plants. Water is also used in factories to make drinks and other products. It is used to cool machines. Water is used to produce the electricity that we get in our homes. Firemen use water to put out fires. Boats, ships, and yachts travel on water. They carry people and goods from one place to another. Fish and other animals live in water bodies. Can you list some other uses of water? Ways to save water. We must always remember that fresh water is limited. We must not waste it by leaving our taps on or pipes leaking. Use water wisely. The most common methods of wasting water are leaving the tap on while brushing, shaving, or washing dishes. Operating washing machines or dishwashers with half load. Watering the lawn with sprinklers. Using the shower instead of a bucket for a bath. Not mending leaking taps or water pipelines. Besides this, we must also be careful not to contaminate the limited fresh water that we have. To contaminate water means dirtying or polluting fresh water. We contaminate our freshwater supplies by throwing waste, garbage, and litter in it. Contaminated water is not fit for drinking and may cause several waterborne diseases. We must all help in keeping our fresh water clean by keeping our lakes, rivers, and ponds clean. We should use water filters and purifiers. The most common methods of contaminating water are throwing our waste in rivers, lakes, and or ponds, washing clothes in freshwater bodies, keeping stored water uncovered. We can prevent water contamination by keeping the areas around freshwater bodies clean, avoiding washing clothes in freshwater bodies, preventing animals from entering freshwater bodies by not throwing waste in rivers, lakes, or ponds, keeping stores water covered, safe handling of water. It is important to keep the sources of water clean, but it is equally important to keep the water that we drink in our homes clean. If for some reason you feel the tap water is not clean, boil it before drinking. Water should be stored in covered containers. These containers should be made of good materials. They should also be cleaned regularly. You should not dip your hands in the container to take water. Always use the tap or a long handled vessel to take water from a container. Do not contaminate water as it can make you sick. Two ways of preserving drinking water are recycling, rainwater harvesting. Recycling, it means treating the used water from our homes and factories and making it available for further use. Rainwater harvesting, it means collecting rainwater from the roofs of buildings and other areas and storing it for later use. Rainwater is usually collected from the roofs of buildings and stored in underground tanks, pits, and wells to use for different purposes. Look at the pictures below. It explains the basic processes of rainwater harvesting. Understood? This is about a lesson water. Tomorrow we will see the exercise part of this lesson. Okay? Thank you.